Okay, I'm going to read a book today, and it's called The Birthday Spell.
Where's the bunny?
In my lap. Poppy's worried that Bunny didn't come to the party.
So is that, you got it on and everything?
Yeah, I
Okay,
got
I
it
see
on
that.
and everything.
Okay.
But I'll put Bunny to work because Bunny needs to see what's going on too. Because Poppy really likes Bunny. Here we go. Josie usually enjoyed sitting on the garden wall. Sometimes she would swing her legs and sing to herself, and sometimes she would listen while the birds sang to her, and sometimes she would watch the clouds up in the sky. But not today. Today was different. Today, Josie was much too busy being cross and disgruntled to enjoy the wall. Woof! What's wrong with Josie? The trouble was that most of Josie's family seemed to boss her. Josie, your bike must be put away at night, insisted Father. Josie, please lay the table, called Mother. Josie, it's your time to tidy the playroom, said her big sister Nikki. But Josie asked her little brother Sam to help her tidy, and Sam just smiled and chuffed with his train out of the playroom. So Sam admits like he's a little too little to help. It's not fair, stormed Josie. I can't boss anyone. And then Josie remembered. She reminded her mother and her father and her sister that tomorrow was her special day, and on special days there was no bossing. Josie woke up next morning to hear swishing and a clunking at the front door. What? Tomorrow was here. It was now, today, and it was her birthday. Woo! Do you see what was clunking? The place where you put the mail drop, and they were clunking lots of cards. Clunking. There was happy birthday from Granddaddy, lots of love from Auntie Jane, have a happy birthday from Granny, many happy returns of the day from Polly, happy birthday Uncle Dave, love from Uncle Sam, happy birthday from Nikki. And a lot of big packages and lots of love from Mom and Dad. She left the largest parcel until last. It was a most peculiar shape. What's in there? What's in there? What's in there? What's in there? What? Oh, exclaimed Josie when she opened the parcel. This is just what I wanted. It was a witch's costume with a magic wand and black matching shoes. Ooh. When she tried it on, it fit perfectly. Perhaps Sinbad, I think that's the name of the kitty, Sinbad, would like to be a witch's cat, suggested Father. He's exactly the right color. Aha, thought Josie. Now I'm a witch and I can make vanishing spells for bossy people. She decided that even witches needed to practice, so she collected all her dolls and her animals together. She sat them up in front of her, and then she closed her eyes and waved her wand and muttered, "Abracadabra," in her most witchery voice. But when she opened her eyes, the dolls and the animals were still there. Sure nice of Bunny to hold the pages. Thank you, Bunny. Whoa! Okay, Bunny wants to see too. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I think the best witches must have a cauldron, said Josie to Sinbad. She found a cauldron in her mother's saucepan cupboard and set out to find her mother. On the way, she collected the special ingredients for her witch's brew. What was that? Looked like a snail and a leaf and an eggshell and a stamp, a broken cup, and some stones. She was picking, her mother was picking beans for dinner, so Josie hid behind the fattest tree and stirred the brew in her cauldron. "If I had a witch's spell book," Josie said to Sinbad, "it would say, take 1 snail shell, 1 green leaf, a bit of bird's egg, a dirty stamp, a broken cup, and some pebbles, and stir them all together and say, stir and wave the wand, bossy mothers will be gone." But when she opened her eyes, her mother was still picking beans. "Josie," she called, "when you go back inside, please do not go into the dining room." "Well," confided Josie to Sinbad, "perhaps spells don't work on mothers." So she set off to look for her father. Where's her dad? Right there. She hid from her father around the corner of the house. "This time I'll try chanting and dancing spells," she whispered to Sinbad. So she danced around the cauldron, chanting softly, make bossy daddies go away and come again another day." But when she opened her eyes, oh, did I miss one? I missed a page. Bunny, you're supposed to do a better job than that. Oh, help me, Buns. Oops, come on. Come on. Well, maybe it is it. Maybe it isn't it. Why is it so hard? Because it's not a problem. But when she opened her eyes, Nicky was still there. "You do look peculiar sitting in the wardrobe," laughed Nicky. "Mom says to tell you not to go into the dining room." "Oh, rats!" shouted Josie, and she stomped off to the bedroom. I have a feeling, you guys. There it is. Found it. But when she peered around the corner, her father was still there. "Careful, Josie," he smiled. "You don't want to get paint all over your new witch's costume. Remember, if you're going inside, you're not to go into the dining room." Josie was beginning to feel rather disgruntled. "I don't think I'm a very good witch," she said to Sinbad, but she decided to have one last try. So she went to look for Nicky. I think Nicky's her older sister. A a nice dark wardrobe could be a witch's cavern, she decided. I'll try a dark sort of spell. Slimy worms all sluggy brown, take nasty Nicky underground. But when she opened her eyes, Nicky was still there. You do look peculiar sitting in the wardrobe, laughed Nicky. Mom says to tell you not to go into the dining room. All right, shouted Josie, and she stomped off into the bedroom. For a while she forgot about being a witch. She built a bridge from her new fire engine. Outside the sky darkened and there was a flash of lightning and then a faraway small rumble of thunder. Josie was far too busy getting the fire engine to a fire at the doll's house to notice. But you can see in the window, there's the lightning and the storm. And there's Josie, and she's building a bridge. You see that? Can you see? Okay. But Sam heard the thunder. Sam's the little brother. Not like bangs, he wailed as he came running into Josie's room. Be careful, she shouted, but it was too late. Oh, you horrid boy, shrieked Josie. Look what you have done. He was scared and he ran in and he knocked her bridge off. She shook her one fiercely, closed her eyes, and said very loudly, I wish I never had to see Sam ever again. And when she opened her eyes, Sam had vanished. Uh-oh. Josie was delighted. Her vanishing spell had worked. Now at last she was a proper witch. Mum, she called from the top of the stairs. I have done it. Done what, my dear? Asked Mom. I made Sam disappear with one of my vanishing spells. What a clever witch, exclaimed Mother. Josie took her fire engine to the sand pit. The sky was still dark and thunder still rumbled gently. This is just the right sort of day for a proper witch, said Josie to Sinbad. Then Josie heard Mother calling. Could you wish Sam back now, she asked, and tell him tea is ready? I have to go back to the bedroom, explained Josie. You have to be in the same place for bringing back spells. Just have a peep under the bed while you are in there, suggested Mother. Josie was in too much of a hurry to ask why. I think I'm coming back, spell, said Josie to Sinbad. Ought to be rather like a going away spell, but backwards. She squeezed her eyes tightly shut and waved her wand. Horrid Sam, who went away, come back today. But when she opened her eyes, there was no sign of Sam. Josie kept very still and said the spell again, but still Sam did not appear. Josie burst into tears and ran downstairs to find her mother. Goodness sakes, what did she do? I can't get him to come back, she sobbed. I think he has gone away forever. Don't worry, said Mother. He's probably frightened by the thunder. Perhaps he is hidden somewhere. Come on, we'll go and hunt for him. Mother looked behind the curtains, but Sam was not there. So looking behind the curtains. Josie searched the staircase cupboard. Still no Sam. Nicky checked the tent on the back lawn, but Sam wasn't there either. Josie, do you remember to look under the bed as I suggested? Asked Mother. Oh, I forgot, said Josie, and she ran upstairs. She lifted up the bed cover, and out crawled a rather sleepy-looking Sam. Oh, Sam, said Josie, I'm pleased to see you. Sam's not like Bangs, yawned Sam. Sam, go away. The Bangs have all disappeared now, smiled Mother, and I'm starving, laughed her father, and perhaps Josie could try a happy food appearing spell. The family waited outside the dining room door while Josie closed her eyes and waved her wand. She didn't say anything. That's a very quiet spell, said Nicky. Yes, replied Josie. I think perhaps silent spells are the best spells. Oh my goodness, look what's on the table. It's a birthday tea. And when Josie opened the dining room door, they all decided she was right. The best spells are the quiet spells. Look, she's got a cake with a witch on it and Sinbad the kitty. That's a pretty cute cake. She got some candy, look, fruit. What is all that? I don't know what that is. Just maybe decorations. There's some cookies and some sandwiches. Yum, yum, yum. So that's what Josie had for her birthday tea. The end. There we are. Love you guys.